Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Rehab Christian Center Sunday morning live virtual experience. I am Dr. Zeb, and it's good to see you and good to be here with you this morning. I pray that you have been having a tremendous week and that your weekend has gone well. I have had a blessed weekend, but it is so good to see you virtually, and thank you so much for tuning in. And I'm really excited, really excited to be here this morning. I'm really excited to dive into a very powerful word that I believe is going to bless you in a tremendous way. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. That's really going to bless you in a tremendous way. And I'm excited. I'm ready to get into this. Good morning, Brother Antonio. It's so good to see all of you. So many of you are saying good morning. And I'm trying to, I wish you all could see if there was a way I could shine a camera on my setup. You guys would be shocked at how we do this every single week. It is indeed a production, but it is a lot going on. And so sometimes it's hard to catch everything, but it's good to see all of you and so grateful you have tuned in on this morning. Listen, I want to get into the word. I've got a powerful word for you today. We are going to be talking from the subject, good trouble, and it's going to be powerful. I'm going to give you a perspective on trouble that's going to challenge you in a tremendous way. And I'm grateful to be able to share it with you. And so I need you to start liking this video and sharing this broadcast right away. I'm going to walk through the channels as I always do, but I need you to start liking this video, sharing this channel, this broadcast right away, so that we can get into the word this morning. And it's going to be great. And just grateful to have your presence here. And so grateful to be here with you on this good Sunday morning. All right, let's go through the channels. Facebook, good morning to you. It is good to see you virtually. I am certainly praying that you are off to a tremendous Sunday morning. And I want you to know that I love you and I'm praying for you and I'm rooting for you. Do me a favor. If you're on Facebook, I want you to hit the like button, hold it down, turn it to a love button. Then I want you to hit that share button and tag 5 people and tell them to tune in this morning. Tell them to tune in this morning. This is going to be a powerful message, and we cannot wait to share it with you. So hit that like button, hold it down to a love button, Facebook. If you have not already, if you're tuned in via Facebook, make sure you say good morning in the chat area. Let us know that you're tuned in this morning. But also, again, hit that share button. I want you to tag 5 people. Tell them to tune in for what will be a very powerful message on this morning. All right. Instagram, good morning to you. It's good to see you virtually. Thank you so much for tuning in. Those that are tuned in via Instagram, do me a favor. If you're tuned in via Instagram, make sure you hit that heart button, hold it down. Let's see some hearts go up the screen. And then I want you, those of you that are tuned into Instagram. Instagram is our late church, but they'll be here. I want you to hit that @ symbol. I want you to tag 5 people, tell them to tune in this morning, and tell them that the Rehab Christian Center is live and on the air this morning. So hit that love button if you're on Instagram. Make sure you say good morning in the chat area. And then I want you to tag 5 people. Hit that @ symbol, go down your friends list, invite 5 people to tune in. And we promise you, God's going to bless them in a tremendous way. All right, do that for me. If it sounds like I'm scatterbrained, I am literally trying to type something and talking at the same time. I literally do about 8 or 9 things at the same time, which is why my brain explodes when this is over. But it's great. I really enjoy it. Them today. And I want you to know that I'm grateful for all of you for tuning in and just being here and showing up. YouTube, good morning to you. Those of you that are tuned in via YouTube, it's so good to see you virtually. Thank you so much. I want you, if you're on YouTube, to like this video. If you have not liked this video, I want you to like this video. I want you to subscribe to our channel. Those of you that have not subscribed to YouTube, I want you to know that all of our messages are archived right there. And you can go back and take a look at all of the messages that we have ministered over this last 14, 15, 16 months. You'll see them all there. And you can go back and look at the archive of all of those messages. So subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have not already, it's at the Rehab CC. If you go to YouTube, type in the search bar, the Rehab CC. You will see our channel. Hit that subscribe button, hit the little bell icon so you can be notified every time we go live. But you can also go back and take a look at all of our messages that we have spoken and shared over the last 15, 16 months. And I promise you, it will bless you in a tremendous way. All right. So if you're on YouTube, thank you so much for tuning in. Like this video, share this video with your friends, your family, but make sure that you also subscribe to our channel. We want you to follow us there. But more than that, we want you to go back and get the content, check out the old messages so that you can continue to be blessed by our ministry. Let me say this. Wow, I've received so much feedback from so many of you regarding my father last week. What a wonderful word he gave us on last week and really shared with us on our anniversary Sunday. And so I want to say thank you to him this morning. I'm sure they are tuned in. I want to say thank you to him for sharing with us last week and really being a blessing to us. And so many of you reached out via email, received several messages I'm going to share with him today. So many of you want to tune into his broadcast on Sundays and even on Wednesdays as he teaches Wednesday. And so I'm going to work with him and his team to just make sure that we can get that link to you all that might be interested in tuning into his life study, his Bible study, his broadcast. And we want to make sure that you have access to that. But wow, what a powerful time we had last week with Dad, who really blessed us in a tremendous way. And so I want to say thank you so much to him and to all of you that were a blessing to us on our anniversary Sunday. I tell you, it was a tremendous blessing to be a blessing. I was in the line right with you, and it was just a tremendous blessing to be a blessing regardless of circumstance. And my prayer is that God will continue to bless you just as he's blessing me. How is he going to do it? He's going to do it good measure, pressed down, shaking together, running over. He literally, I'm a living witness this week. It happened so much this week that I almost told God to stop. He literally will send people into your life to bless you in ways that either you can't bless yourself or that people have never blessed you. And this week has just been a fountain of nonstop people showing up saying, hey, Pastor Zeb, Dr. Zeb, some folk just Zeb, what can I do to be a blessing to you? What can I do to help you? What can I do to pour into you? And I'm telling you, that same kind of river is coming your way. God's about to send it to you. And all you got to do is just stay the course. I'm here to tell you, stay the course. And God has a tremendous blessing to you. Here's the key. Be true to who you are. Be true to what your purpose is. Be true to the plan that you have for your life. There's so many counterfeits out here. Everybody's trying to be like everybody else, and everybody's trying to do what everybody else does. And there is no grace and there's no power, frankly, in being a copycat. There isn't. There is no grace. There's no power. There's no effectiveness in doing it like everybody else. Be true to who you are and watch God continue to make ways in your life as only he can. All right, let me shut up. Let's get into the declaration. I'm ready to get into the word. Have you all tagged 5 people? Have you shared this video? Also, if you have not already, do me a favor. At the end of this broadcast, and you should see it on your screen, at the end of this broadcast, I'm going to be praying for all of our children, K through 12, college kids, whatever. I'm going to be praying for them today. And so if you've got a child that needs prayer, that's returning to school tomorrow, or that may have already returned, I know by tomorrow, I think all of our kids are going to be in. My kids go in tomorrow. I think we're on the latter end of this. Winston-Salem, Forsyth County, Guilford County, we're on the latter end of returning. But schools in Virginia have already returned. Schools in Texas and other states have already returned. But I think by this week, everybody's going to be back in school. And so if you've got a child that is going back to school, you see the instructions on the screen, just feel free to type their name in the chat area. And at the conclusion of this broadcast, we want to pray for our children. If there was ever a time that they're going to need prayers, they return back to school, that time is now with everything that's going on. And so we are praying that they are safe and well, and not just our kids. We want to pray for our teachers as well, our administrators who are operating in unforeseen conditions and having to educate our children in these same conditions. And so if you don't work in education on any level, and I happen to work in education as well, you don't understand what I'm saying. It is not easy. And so we are praying for all of our educators and teachers and administrators as well. And we want to do that today. So if you've got a child that is in school, that is starting school, K through 12 or in college, want you to type their name in the chat area today. And we're going to be praying for them at the end of this broadcast that they have a safe and successful school year starting tomorrow, whenever they've started. We want to make sure we do that. All right, let's go through the declaration. Again, just grateful to see you this morning. And certainly praying that God has been blessing you in a tremendous way. Let's do it. All right. You know how we do. If this is your first time tuning into the Rehab Christian Center, every Sunday morning, we repeat the declaration. Many people ask, what does rehab mean? It stands for restore, evangelize, hope, alternative, breakthrough. It is the 5 pillars by which this church was created. And so we go through this declaration because we understand that there is power in the things that we say. And so I'm going to read this slowly. I ask that you just repeat it wherever you are. It doesn't matter if you're driving, if you're at the beach, just stop what you're doing and just repeat along with me. This declaration is going to be a blessing to your life. All right. Say it with me. Restore. We declare that everything that is broken, lost, hurt, or destroyed that belongs to us and has been designed by God is restored. My faith is restored. My joy is restored. My mind is restored. Even my lost time is restored. I am no longer broken. The fact that I'm alive means I have another chance. My faith has restored me, and right now, his love is making me whole. Evangelize. Say it with me. We declare that God helped us so we can help somebody else. He loved me when I was unlovable. He changed me when I was a mess. His love lifted me when I was down. I'm not perfect, but I'm free. And anything that came for me can't keep me. Because I'm free, my circle is next. My family is saved. My friends are blessed. My plans are successful. My goals are ahead of schedule. And anything connected to me is blessed, just like me. Hope. Say it with me. We declare that everything that is missing is not lost. In Jesus, I have hope. And this hope makes me confident. It doesn't matter what happens to me or around me. I'm going to win. My relationships are winning. My goals are winning. My family is winning. My neighbor is winning. This city will win. And my role has the victory. My past is defeated, and my future is brighter today than it was yesterday. Alternatives. Say it with me. We declare that God made us different. I'm a royal child, the light of the world, and the hope of my city. I respect the past, but I don't look like what I've been through. I love the church, and my life is balanced. I love coming to church, but I like flights, boats, and vacations. My whole life is blessed. I am the head and not the tail. I am above and not beneath. I am a lender and not a borrower. And every place I go belongs to me. Breakthrough. Say it with me. We declare that God has a breakthrough with our name on it. I have some challenges, but I am not defeated. No weapon formed against me can prosper. And I know that all things are working for my good. Things are not breaking down. They are about to break through. There is a breakthrough in my career. There is a breakthrough in my home. There is a breakthrough in my health. There is a breakthrough in my finances. I am here on purpose for a purpose, and everything that went wrong is getting ready to turn around. Listen, if you said that with us this morning, I need you to do me a favor. We've been doing this all year long. If you really believe that God's working some things out in your life, I want you to type in the comments now, it's already done. Would you do it quickly? It's already done. It's already done. God's working some things out for you. God's making some ways for you. He's opening some doors for you. He's creating new opportunities for your life, your family, your business, your career. God's doing that. I want you to type it in the comments now, like you believe it. It's already done. God is literally changing some things for you. And I want you to be positive, and I want you to be encouraged. That's half of the game. It's not about seeing it happen right now, but it's about seeing it before you see it. It's about having it before you have it. You've got to believe that he's already done it. And if you truly believe he's already done it, I'm here to tell you, I am a living witness. I feel like I'm smiling so much that my face is about to just crack. I'm a living witness that if you stay true to what you believe, God makes it happen for you. And so I want you to type it in the comments now. It's already done. It's already done. God's making a way. He's meeting needs. He's opening doors, creating new opportunities filled with favor for you and your family, your career, your finances, in your health, your wealth, in your career, in your business, and everything that you go to touch and do. He's making things happen for you. And you just got one job. You need to believe that it's already done. And just walk in that, believe that he's doing it. And I'm here to tell you, he's going to do it. Listen, y'all, I need you to share this video. I need you to share this broadcast now. Hit that @ symbol. Doesn't matter what network you're on. Hit the @ symbol right now. And I need you to tag 5 people and tell them to get up out of the bed and join our broadcast this morning. As you're doing that, again, you should see the announcement on the screen. Make sure if you've got a child that is returning to school, maybe you've got a niece, a nephew. I want to shout out brother, I think it's Khalil Schaefer. He tunes in via Instagram. I've never met him personally. He always shares our broadcast. He always supports our ministry. He started in Morehouse a week ago, I believe it was. And just incredibly proud and impressed by this young man. I've yet to meet. I'm actually met through Sister Nikki, and impressed by this young man who started Morehouse and spent some time yesterday with Z, who's going to the University of Minnesota. And she'll be leaving in a week, I believe. I think this weekend. Just so many young people doing so many wonderful things. And your young people are going to school K through 12 this week. I tell you, I'm so excited for our young people that are going to be doing amazing things starting this school year. But I'm telling you, they're going to need prayer with this virus and everything else that's going on. They're going to need prayer. And so if you've got a young person, a son, daughter, niece, nephew, whatever, grandchild, I want you to put their names in the comment, drop it in the chat throughout the entire broadcast. When this broadcast is over on the air, we're going to touch and agree, and we're going to pray for them that our young people are safe and sound when they go back to school. We want them to be successful. I truly believe they're going to end up getting sent home. I really do. I could be wrong. But even while they're in school, we want a hedge of protection around them. And so drop their name in the comments. And many of you that are tuned in, full-fledged adults, are going back to school. You're starting school over. That's okay. Put your name in the comment. I'm praying for you as well. I know what it's like to go back to school as an adult. And it's not easy. It's a lot of work. But I want you to know that I'm praying for you. There you go. Thank you, Ms. Ryder. Always good to see you as well. So many supporters near and far that I've never even met that really support us with their presence financially in so many ways. And I'm grateful for you all. Absolutely. I'm praying for your children, praying for all of you that have children, loved ones that are going back to school. All right, y'all, let's get into this. want you to type in the comments today. Today, I am talking from the subject, good trouble. I want you to put it in the comments now. This is going to be good. Good trouble is what I'm dealing with today. And I am excited to share this word. Let me get to my notes here. I got stuff all over the place. But I tell you, I'm excited to share this word. Good trouble. Good trouble is what we're going to deal with today. I want you to type it in the comments. And we're going to talk about this and deal with it. Man, wow. Didn't we enjoy Dad last week? Wasn't Dad awesome? Dad really dropped some great nuggets on us last week. And I'm just so overjoyed with how he shared with us and how so many of you tuned in as he shared with us last week. And so again, Dad, love you, appreciate you, and I'll see you shortly. All right, good trouble. Let's deal with this today. I'm going to be coming from 2 Corinthians chapter 4. 2 Corinthians chapter 4. I'm going to be in 2 Corinthians chapter 4, the New Living Translation. All right, 2 Corinthians chapter 4, New Living Translation. All right. And I want to share this with you as a context. All right. Second Corinthians chapter 4 is where I'm going to be dealing. I'm going to kind of be jumping everywhere. And so let's deal with this. 2 Corinthians chapter 4 is where we are. Good trouble is what we're dealing with. New Living Translation. Now, I had a very interesting conversation with a young man this week who has a criminal record. Good to see you, brother. Khalil, we gave you a shout out this morning, man. I'm proud of you. I do well at Morehouse this week and said that publicly and wanted to say that to you. And thank you so much for your support and just so proud of you. And y'all, I know it seems like I'm all over the place, but I'm really excited about our young people going back to school. And I am an educator, so that's very near and dear to my heart. It is a passion of mine. And so do well, my man. And I'm proud of you. Can't wait to meet you soon. Listen, I had a very exciting conversation with a young man this week who has a criminal record, and he has some interest in going back to further his life and better his life. And he was honest. He said, Dr. Zeb, he said, I want to do some things in my career. I want to provide for my family, but I've got these things. I've got these challenges, these barriers because of some things that have happened in my past. And I don't know how I can advance further with these criminal things on my record or my history. So we had a very candid conversation about mistakes. Very candid conversation about mistakes. And here's the reality that I want to share with all of you. If you are tuned in right now and you are saying to me, Dr. Zeb, I have no mistakes. I've never done anything wrong. And I always expect things to work out for me because I've always done things right. I want you to find that little X on your screen and leave the service. I don't even want you tuned in. I want you to hit that X. If you're on Instagram, look in the corner, hit that X and just leave the broadcast. If you're on Facebook, I want you to just scroll off the broadcast. Don't even tune in. This is not for you today. One of the things that I had to remind this young man is the same thing I'm going to remind all of you. At the end of the day, your future, and I don't want you to ever forget this, your future will only be as authentic as your past. I want you to record that now. Your future will only be as authentic as your past. The reason why churches are struggling to be authentic is because they are presenting a message of perfection that people are not living up to. Here's the reality. God challenges us to strive for perfection every single day. You ought to be doing the best that you can to be the best you that you can be. But here's the reality. You're going to make some mistakes. You're going to make some mistakes. You're going to do some things wrong. You're not going to always do some things right. You're going to miscalculate some things. You're going to handle some things wrong. You're going to cuss some folk out. I had to hold my whole tongue. I think it was Thursday or Friday this week because I almost cussed an entire group of people out. The pastor. Yes, your pastor, your in-person pastor, your internet pastor, whatever I am to you, literally almost put 3 and 4 compound words together, and I'm a good cusser. Y'all be playing. I can cuss. I'm just being honest. I can cuss. When I cuss, I can cuss, and I cuss well, and it's eloquent, and it's great. But I had to hold my peace. Why? Because I understand the power of mistakes. And so here, thank you. Y'all pray for Pastor. Here's the thing that I want to drive home for all of you. Your future is only as authentic as your past. I need you to type that in the comments. It is actually the things you go through in your past that prepares you for the great future that you're going to have. And that includes the mistakes. We think that God only uses the good stuff in our past to give us a good future. That's only part of it. An eloquent cusser, which means you ever been cussed out so nice that you didn't even realize you got cussed out, but it was cussed out. That's the kind of cussing. That's what an eloquent cusser is. Somebody just asked me what an eloquent cusser is. Anyway, God, y'all stop distracting me. God doesn't just use the good stuff in your past to help you. He uses the bad stuff too, right? And so sometimes we want to throw away the bad and think that only it's the good in our past that God uses to propel us forward. And that ain't the case, all right? And so I want to say this to all of you. And let's start here. There are 4 types of people, because this young man said, hey, Dr. Zeb, I want to do it, man. He said, but my family is telling me, I can't, be successful. My family's telling me, I've done this and that, so I'll never be able to get a degree. I'll never be able to start a business. My family's telling me, because I made this mistake, I'll never have a family. I'll never be, my friends are telling me I can't do this. Administrators have told me don't even apply. Like all of these people are telling him all of these things, making him to believe that his past has disqualified him from his future. But I'm here to tell you, your past doesn't disqualify you from your future. Your past qualifies you for your future. I want you to record that now. My past qualifies me for my future. My past qualifies me for my future. It doesn't disqualify me. My past, record it, qualifies me for my future. People say this all the time. Doc said, how do you teach the stuff you teach and say the stuff you say? Where does that come from? It didn't fall out the sky. It came from experience. It came from the things that I've gone through, that I've experienced. When I talk to you about having an attitude, or I talk to you about being a cusser, or I talk to you about coming to church, but having all this other drama in your life, been there, done it, right? Been there, done. Your past, it is your past that qualifies you for your future. And in your past is literally everything. It ain't just the good stuff, but it's the bad stuff too. And so I want to give you this right now. I want to give you 4 types of people. I thought about this young man. I said, I'm going to include this because it really makes sense. I'm going to give you 4 types of people right now you need to run away from. Let me help you. This is going to be good. We're going to connect it to the topic. I'm going to give you 4 types of people you need to run away from, because I had to really coach them up and say, listen, man, I don't care what people told you. It's your past that really qualifies you for what it is that you want to do. And God actually specializes in using everything in your past, the good, the bad, the ugly. He qualifies literally in using the good, the bad, and the ugly, and the people included, to qualify you for your future. And I told him, look, I can't speak for nobody else. Let me help y'all. I can't speak for nobody else, and I'm just going to be very honest with all of you. I can't speak for anybody else. I was thinking about this morning based off of a conversation I had last night. Actually, while I was at dinner with somebody, I didn't even know who the gentleman was. But I had a conversation, very good conversation, and it really just hit me, and it was confirmed later. I can't speak for anybody else, and this may not even be right, but I'm just going to be honest. Nothing motivates me more than the odds being stacked against me. I don't know if anybody else functions like that. It's like in my life, I do okay when things are going well. I do okay when things are going well. I can stay focused. I'm a pretty focused and disciplined person. Many of you know me, so I get up at 4:15 every morning. So my routine and my regimen. I believe that leaders and visionaries and entrepreneurs and go-getters, you shouldn't be in the bed all day. I get up at 4:15 every morning. I get more done from 4 until 9 a.m. that most people do all day, right? So you all know that. So I get up every morning, but I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm disciplined. I'm focused. I do well when things are going well, but there's just something about people thinking I can't that just really turns me on. Like there's just something about people counting me out that just really like puts me into the next stratosphere of effort. Like if you want me to do something, tell me I can't do it. Like if you want to see the best in me, tell me that I ain't gonna make it. And I can't explain this to anybody. And if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. But that's just the way I've always functioned. And man, listen, I want to share this with all of you. It is the stuff in your past, especially the bad stuff, that when you're a winner, that stuff ought to drive you. It ought to motivate you to go after it. And so my job today is to help you understand that good trouble comes in all kinds of forms. And we're going to make this make sense. So the 4 types of people you ought to run away from. And again, I found myself last week just giving a shout out to adversity. It was adversity that made me better. It was trouble that made me better. It was the people that wrote me off, literally, that walked away, that made me better. And I'm telling you, I'm sorry for functioning that way. I just can't help it. When you put my back against the wall, that's when you get all the smoke. And I come out swinging, and I always come out better. And so I want you to function the same way. 4 types of people. 4 types of people that I want you to run fast away from. All right. Number 1, the person who hasn't done anything wrong. The person who hasn't done anything wrong, run fast away from them. These are the people who think they're perfect. These are the people who think they speak in tongues 24/7. These are the people who always do things right. You want to run fast away from people who have never done anything wrong. All right. Run fast from them. All right. Person number 2, y'all writing this down? Because I'm moving fast. Person number 2 that you need to run fast away from is this. The person who thinks they're better than everybody else. The person who thinks they're better than everybody else. Let me help y'all. Stop wasting time with stuck up, bougie, arrogant, off-putting, offsetting people. Stop. They ain't doing nothing but draining your energy. They ain't doing nothing but pulling you back from where God's trying to take. Y'all stop. Stop. You got enough problems in your life. Stop wasting time with people who think they're better than everybody else. Now understand this, and because there's a flip side to this as well. I told a young man this week, was doing freshman orientations, a young man from Fayetteville, North Carolina. I'll never forget him because he kind of pulled me out of the line of the side. And he said, "Hey, Dr. Taylor, man, I really enjoyed your speech, your motivational speech, man. I'm ready to go after it, go get it." He said, "Man, but I'm just gonna be honest with you." He said, I'm struggling. I'm struggling with my circle. He said, these are people that I grew up with. These are people that have always been there. These are people that when I ain't had nothing, they were there. These are people that supported me through some of my low moments. I said, man, that's all great. I think that's a wonderful thing. I think it's great to have a support system of people that you are surrounded by that are connected to you. But let me ask you one question. I said, how old are you? He said, I'm 19. I said, let me ask you this. What's your shoe size? He said, an 11. I said, did you wear a size 11 when you were 5? He said, no. I said, why? He said, because my feet grew. I said, such is your life. If you didn't wear the same size shoe at age 5 that you wear at 19, it is quite possible that you can outgrow people. And somebody needs to hear this today. Don't you dare for 1 second think that you can't outgrow people, because you can. I know some of y'all don't like that. It's all right. The people also include your family. The people also include your friends. The people also includes the people that were there for you when you ain't have nothing. Because here's the problem. People who throw up the "I was there for you when you ain't have nothing" stuff, the problem with that is this. While that's good, we all got to grow. And I ain't going to stay in the place where I was when I didn't have nothing. right? So if you can outgrow your shoes, you can outgrow people, which means, yeah, there's such a thing as being too good for certain people. There's such a thing as being too forward for certain people. Yes, don't allow yourself to get boxed in. But understand, just because you have outgrown people doesn't mean that you think you're better than anybody, right? And if there's one thing God can't stand, he can't stand arrogance. I'm trying to help y'all. If there's one thing God cannot stand, he can't stand arrogance. And I was just, I'm just gonna get myself in all kinds of trouble today, but I feel like teaching, so that's what it is. When I was in Cancun, I was in the pool. I'm laughing because I'm thinking about the status I posted yesterday. I was in the pool, but I was just really, there was this guy I was really admiring. He was there with his wife, heavy set guy, really big. He had to have been about 300 pounds. I'm not making this up. He had to have been about 300 pounds. Was walking around with his wife. His wife was much smaller. He had to have been 280, 270, 300 easily, right? And but I was really admiring him. Let me tell you why. Because he was walking around in Speedos and no shirt. Every bit of his stomach was hanging over his Speedos. His stomach was hanging over his Speedos, and he had no shirt on, Speedos, and he wasn't walking like he was folded. He was walking looking like this, just turning his head from side to side. And I said, God, while you in the blessing business and you handing out this level of confidence, don't forget about me. While you blessing everybody with this kind of confidence, don't you forget about your boy, right? And so I love it because you got to understand that God will give you confidence without giving you arrogance. And some of y'all got it confused. You calling your arrogance confidence, but there's a huge difference between confidence and arrogance. Confidence says, I know I got it, and I don't care what y'all think, or you don't have to convince me that I got it. Arrogance says, I think I got it, and I want y'all to know that I think I got it. And I'm here to tell you, there's a huge difference between confidence and arrogance, right? God wants you to walk in confidence, not arrogance. And so stop wasting time with people who are arrogant, stuck up, bougie, think they're better than everybody else. Yeah, leave those folks so that your life can continue to grow and develop. Third person you want to run fast away from is this, and this is going to hurt somebody's feelings. The third person you want to run fast away from is the person who can see everybody's problem but their own. The person who can see everybody's problem but their own, run fast away from them. Fast. The person who can see what's wrong with everybody else but themselves, if they in your circle, you need to move them out your circle. Ain't nothing more detrimental to your life than to be connected to people who can see everybody's flaws but their own, who can see everybody's problems but their own, who can see everybody's issues but their own, who can talk about everybody else's hair but their hair ain't done, who can talk about everybody else's relationship but they dating serial cheaters. Like, we gotta stop connecting with people who are only one-sided, who can only see what's wrong with everybody else but cannot see what's wrong with themselves, right? The Bible says, let a man first examine himself. It doesn't say examine everybody else. What's powerful about examining yourself first is that when you really get to see who you are for who you are, then it's easy to not only see other people, but it's easier to have grace with other people. Some of you don't have grace for other people because you haven't been honest with yourself about who you are. When you get honest with yourself about who you are, you get honest with yourself about the struggles you have, you get honest with yourself about the challenges that you have, it then becomes easier to extend grace. It's easier for me to extend this young man that we were having this conversation with about his past, his criminal past. It was easy for me to extend him grace because the Lord knows There are things I've done that I should have on my record right now. Yes, there are things that I have done that should be clean on my record right now. Why? Because I have been honest with myself about my past. I've been honest with myself about where I am and the things I've done. And when you do that, it's easy to extend grace to other people. See, people struggle extending grace because they're not honest. They're not. They're not honest about who they are. They're not honest about where they've been. They're not honest about what they've been through. They're not honest about the things they've done wrong. They're not honest about the people they've done wrong. They're not honest about their role and stuff. Some of us are quick to say, yeah, they did this to me. They did this to me. But what did you do? What did you do? I'm telling y'all, there's nothing more dangerous than a storyteller who tells everybody else's part but their own. What you do? Yeah, I know they cheated, but what you do? I know they lied, but what you do? Right? There's nothing more dangerous than a partial storyteller. And so if you want to walk in grace, the easiest way to walk in grace is to be honest with yourself. To be honest with yourself about who you are, where you've been, what you've done. And then God, through that honesty, extends not only you grace, he graces you to give grace to others. All right. Does that make sense? All right. Fourth person you want to stay fast away from is this. All right. The fourth person you want to stay away from is the person who thinks everything is all about them. The person who thinks everything is all about them. Run as fast as you can from the person who thinks everything is all about them. Let me tell you something. You can never get what you need when your circle is your competition. I want y'all to record that. I just helped somebody. I just helped a business owner. Listen, you can never get what you need when your circle is your competition. Your circle shouldn't be your competition. And some of you, I hate to break this to you, but your biggest competition hasn't come from your enemies. Your biggest competition has come from the people in your circle. Your circle should never be your competition. And if your circle is your competition, then you got a problem. The people you're in relationship with shouldn't be your competition. You shouldn't be competing with your man. You shouldn't be competing with your man to go after your goals. You shouldn't be competing with your woman to go after your goal. Your circle should not be your competition. And if your circle is your competition, then I'm here to tell you, you got somebody in your camp. You got somebody in your camp who thinks it's all about them. The easiest way to spot if your circle is your competition is if you got somebody in there, or the easiest way to spot that you're around somebody who thinks it's all about them is if you've got somebody in your circle who treats you like competition. Your circle shouldn't be your competition. Your circle should be your safe space. Your circle should be your space of love and grace and truth and honesty. You want a circle that's going to be honest with you. You want people surrounded with you. I was telling somebody last night, I learned a lot about a lot of people the last 15, 16 months. And it's a beautiful thing. Sometimes we learn negative things about people and we take it negative. We take it personal and it just blows up our mood. No, it has been one of the best things that could have ever happened to me in my life. Because sometimes you know what you got when you go through hard times. And your pastor, your boy, has learned a lot the last 15, 16 months. It's been a great experience. But understand this, that you can evaluate your circle the right way when you can evaluate your circle not only the right way, you can determine or learn if you got people in your circle that think it's all about them, if your circle then becomes your competition. If your circle becomes the place of your greatest friction, of your greatest challenge. In other words, there should be peace in your circle. There should be joy in your circle. There should be love and compassion and truth in your circle. Your circle shouldn't be your greatest place of strife. It shouldn't. The people you count on shouldn't be giving you the most grief. And some of you are getting the most grief from the people you count on, and you still calling them your circle. I used to do that. I got delivered. Because if you in my circle and you giving me grief, you really not in my circle. And I'm going to help you get out my circle. It ain't personal. It's business. And you got to take that mentality, because your circle should never be your competition. It should be the place where everybody's winning. Does this make sense to everybody? Listen, if I've said anything so far, because I still got more word to give you, if I've said anything so far that has blessed you, I want you to put in the comments right now, he talking to me today. He talking to me today. If you ain't tagged nobody, invited them to church, I need you to do it quickly, because I got a lot of gems to drop, more gems to drop. I want you to put in the comments right now, he's talking to me today. He's talking to me today. We are talking about good trouble, and we are talking about the challenges of our past and how those challenges prepare us to be great in our life. Come on, put it in the comments now. He talking to me today. All right, this is good. I am in 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 6 through 7, New Living Translation. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 6 and 7. All right, we've got a few verses to go through, and I've got about 25 minutes to get through it. I've got to hurry up. Feel like I've been talking a lot today. All right, 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 6 through 7. He talking to me today. I want you to put it in there. All right, the Bible says in 1 Corinthians 4, 6 and 7, and I'm paraphrasing, he says that God, in essence, shines through our dark moments. God shines light through our dark moments. I want you to record this. When God changes you, he places his light inside of you. When God changes you, he places his light inside of you. All right? When God changes you, he places his light inside of you. Listen, let me help you. You can only glow if you're surrounded in darkness. Listen to me. You can only glow. Your life can only glow if your life is surrounded in darkness. I'm going to take these verses and put it in English so you understand it. Your life can only glow if it has to go through some darkness. People say stuff like this, I want God to bless me so my business can shine, or so my relationships can shine, or so my finances can shine, or so I can shine. I want to shine. The popular word back in the late 90s used to be shine. People used to say now it's glow, right? We say people have, they glow up, or they have a glow up. But back then it used to be shining. I'm shining, man. He's shining, she's shining, she doing it, she's shining. But here's the crazy thing. Light can only shine in darkness. Light don't shine in light. Light only shines in darkness. And let me tell you something. When people say things to you like there's a glow about you, the reason they're able to say it is because there's a light that has been placed inside of you that had to shine in dark times. If there is no darkness, there is no shine. If there is no darkness, there is no shine. If there is no darkness, there is no glow. And so when I compliment people, and I've complimented several people this week, some people I ran into I haven't seen in a while, and I was telling them, I said, listen, I can see there's a glow on you, there's a shine on you. And they were like, yeah, man, Dr. Zeb, there's a shine on you too, man. We see it, man. We've been checking you out, been following everything, and just seeing how things have transformed for you, and there's a glow on you. But what people don't realize they're saying when they say that is that when you tell somebody they got a glow on them, you're also acknowledging the fact that they've been through something. And so this glow that you have is not just something that just fell out of the air. The glow that you have is light that's shining in darkness, which means when people got a glow on them, the worst thing you can do is act like they ain't been through nothing. Because a whole lot of us that's glowing right now been through a whole lot of stuff. This glow didn't happen accidentally. This ain't no Snapchat filter. This ain't no Instagram filter. This glow you see on people for real is a real glow. That light you see on people that's shining on their face naturally, people who have that glow, it is a reflection of the fact that they've been through some dark times. Listen, I want somebody to know this today. The reason you are shining in your life is because of what you've been through and where you are right now. I want somebody to put this in the comments right now. I'm shining because of where I've been and where I am. Come on, put it in the comments quickly. I'm shining because of where I've been and because of where I am. It ain't accidental that you got to shine. It ain't accidental that you got to glow on your life. I think somebody's saying Facebook is pausing. I don't know what's going on with Facebook. Is starting to get on my nerves. Might not say that. Better not say that out loud. They might shut me down. But they started to get on my nerves. We're having a lot of problems with Facebook the last couple of weeks. But listen, I want somebody to put in the comments now. The reason why I'm shining is because of where I've been and where I am. This ain't accidental. People think the shine is there because, it just fell on you. No, it's there because you've been through some stuff. It's there because you cried for the shine that you have. You stayed up late at night because of the shine that you have. Some days you couldn't hardly eat because of the shine that you got right now. And so it ain't accidental that you're shining. It's not accidental that your life is on the glow up. You shining because of where you've been and where you are right now. And that's what God is saying through Paul in verses 6-7. And that is that when God changes you, he literally puts his light in you. And his light is so powerful that it shines through your past and even your present, which means some of you right now are going through some stuff, but people can't even tell it because you got the glow. Y'all ever seen the movie? Oh man, come on. Oh shoot. Have y'all ever seen the movie The Last Dragon? With Apollonia and her fine self. Y'all ever seen the movie The Last Dragon? The Last Dragon, where Bruce Leroy is fighting Shonuff. And is it The Last Dragon? I think it's The Last Dragon. I think it's The Last Dragon. I'm not sure. I believe it's The Last Dragon, where Bruce Leroy is fighting Shonuff, and Apollonia is Bruce Leroy's fine girlfriend. Good God from Zion. And y'all excuse Pastor. And so Bruce Leroy is getting beat up by Shonuff, and Shonuff is coming down Bruce Leroy, and then he thought he had him killed, and then this glow comes over Bruce Leroy, and the last and Shonuff, was it Apollonia? It was Apollonia, wasn't it? I hope it was Apollonia. Well, if it won't, she fine anyway. So oh well. So he's dunking his head in the water, and he says, "Who's the master?" And Bruce Leroy looks at him and says, "I am." And this glow is on. Let me tell you something. Your life is functioning the same way. You don't even realize that many of you, like Bruce Leroy, have taken the same beat down. You have had the same beat down in your life. It wasn't Apollonia, it was Vanity. You have taken the same beat down in your life. And what you don't even realize is really making me feel old too, Sister Nickety. You have taken the same beat down in your life, and life has beat you down, and life has worn you down. But I'm here to tell you, this glow that you have on your life is a result of what you've been through. You cannot glow up until you go through. I want y'all to hear me. You cannot glow up until you go through. I want you to put in the comments now. You can't glow up until you go through. Stop whining because you had hard times. Stop whining because things aren't working for you. Stop whining because people are against you. You ought to be happy. Sometimes people are doing you a favor. Stop whining because things don't seem to be working out. No, there is no glow up until you go through. If you are willing to go through all of your trouble, the good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent, whatever it is, if you're willing to go through all of that stuff, I'm here to tell you, you're going to glow up like you never had before. Some of us glowing right now, but they don't even realize, man, we paid for this. This glow you see, paid for this, man. This shine you see, man, I paid for this. You have no idea. Almost literally lost my life. I paid for this. And I'm here to tell you, your life has the same testimony. You cannot glow up until you go through, right? And so you have to understand that it is his light that helps you to shine in your darkest hours. Now, I want to say this too. I want you to record this as a note. Record this. Just because you got his light doesn't mean you aren't fragile. Let me help you. Just because God's light is in you and you are glowing through some hard times, and you have glowed through some difficult moments, and you have glowed through some difficult challenges, and you've glowed through some difficult seasons, it doesn't mean your life is not fragile. Just because his light is in you doesn't mean that you're not fragile. All right? You see fragile on a box. What does that mean? Handle with care. Right? That tells the UPS folks, the Amazon folks, don't just throw this box anywhere. We got some stuff in here that's nice, but it can also break. Right? So just because you have his light doesn't mean you aren't fragile. And I really want to, this part of the message, I really want to encourage those of you who have made tremendous changes in your life. Right? You've made changes in your life to make your life better, to be stronger spiritually, to be stronger emotionally, financially, in your career, in your family, in your relationships. You've made these changes in your life to be better, but some days you get the urge, like Pastor did on Thursday, to cuss everybody out. Let me help you, because you'll probably never hear this from any other pastor. Let me help you. God can glow you up spiritually. He can bring you out of certain habits. He can break certain habits in your life. He can break certain emotional trauma in your life. He can do all of these things in your life, but hear what I'm saying. And I want you to hear this in love. Everybody on this call, if you don't stay prayed up, if you don't stay focused on your goals and your purpose and your passions and the things you've been called to do, the things you desire to do, if you don't stay focused on those things, every single person on this call is one storm away from going right back to what you were. Did y'all hear what I said? I know churches ain't gonna tell you this, because they tell you that once you get saved, you can't cuss no more. Your inability to cuss has been eliminated. Your inability to smash at random has been eliminated. They tell you that once you get saved, that your ability to drink and smoke loud has been eliminated. Let me tell you something different. All of us, if we don't stay prayed up, y'all don't like this word, I can tell. If we don't stay prayed up, if we don't stay focused, if we don't stay disciplined, all of you, all of us are one storm away from being exactly who we used to be. Y'all don't like this. I need some honest people talking to me in the comments right now. All of us are one storm away, one strong wind away from being where we were, from being who we used to be, right? And so you got to stay prayed up. You got to stay focused and understand that though God has put a glow in your life, it don't mean that you ain't fragile, which means you got to choose your circle wisely. You got to choose people that handle you with care. Can I help you? When you fragile, on the same box that says fragile, it also says, please handle with care. This is why when you choke, we talked about the 4 people you ought to avoid at the beginning of this sermon or this message. This is why when you choose your circle, you got to choose people who can handle you the right way. I learned over this last 15, 16 months that I had a lot of just horrible people in my circle, because when I needed them to handle me a certain way, they could not embrace me and who I was enough to be able to handle me the way I needed to be handled in the season that I was in. And I never forgot that. You need people in your life who can handle you the right way. And if they can't, change the circle. That's what Pastor's doing. It ain't even personal. I would rather start my circle over than to be handled by people who going to be not handling you the right way and not treat you like you fragile. Yeah, I got a glow. It's the glow. I know the glow is real. I've been complimented so much the last 30 days. I don't know what to do with myself. Like, it's getting so bad that I just be wanting people to shut up. I get it. Pastor see it too. I feel it. I feel great. But understand, don't think for 1 second that I forgot that when I wasn't glowing, people weren't handling me the right way. See, you got to make sure. This is a word for your tail today. You tail. You got to make sure that your circle handles you like you fragile. Because here's the reality, that even when we come out of stuff, if we don't stay prayed up, we one storm away from going back to what we used to be. This is why I don't judge the drug dealer. This is why I don't judge the dope dealer. Some of y'all judging folk that do stuff. This is why I don't judge the stripper. This is why I don't judge the person who got a boyfriend, a girlfriend, and 3 sides. I don't judge them, because the reality is, pastor one storm away from being everything that they are. Y'all don't like this. I know. No, not me, pastor. I'm saved, pastor. Sanctified. Holy Ghost filled. Fire baptized. Got Jesus on my side and run for my life. I got all of that too. But hear what I'm saying. If you don't stay prayed up and focused, you can be the same person that you talk about. You can be the same person that you criticize. You talking about how they always smelling like loud, and if you ain't careful, you can end up being the #1 customer for loud. Let me stop saying that word. I'm showing y'all too much street. Y'all gonna talk about me. Pastor, how you know what loud is? Mind your business. Mind your business. If you don't know what loud is, ask your young person near you. They know what loud is. All right, you know what I'm saying? So stop acting like you're not fragile, but more than that, handle people in your circle in a fragile way. Some of you are connected to people and you know their testimony. You know what they've been through. You got to handle them in a fragile way. When I'm counseling and coaching people, this is one client of mine, God bless her heart, a sweetheart. She's young, but bless her heart, she's got a rough attitude. She's real rough on the edges. And, when she really goes through and she gets upset, she's on the call and she's crying. She really gets upset. And I know she doesn't mind me sharing this. Of course, you wouldn't know who she is, but she gets really upset and she's crying. She gets real angry. And, she told me once, she said, Dr. Zeb, I got somebody did something to her and her family. She got so mad. She said, Dr. Zeb, I went and I got the knife, man. I was about to fillet her. She said fillet. She was about to fillet somebody in her family. Now, some of y'all, that make you cringe. I said, listen, I'm praying for you, daughter. I want you to calm down. It's okay if you feel mad. It's okay if you feel upset. I've been where you are. But I give you grace. I give you grace to know that you can be better. You don't have to be what you were in the past. See, you got to handle people with care. Some of y'all don't realize, some of y'all don't get enough of treating folk any kind of way. In church, some of y'all think that because folk come to church on Sunday and they log in every Sunday and they nice and sweet, they won't cuss you out. They won't fillet you. Y'all better start handling people with care, because people have a glow on their lives, but you don't know what people been through. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all are triggers. You trigger people because you don't handle people the right way. You trigger people because you don't handle people with grace. You trigger people because you expect people to be what you are. You trigger people because you have expectations for people that are not even their own. Y'all got to learn how to handle people with grace and understand that for some people, it's taking everything they got to smile. I've been there. It was taking everything I had to smile, and people was expecting me to be something else. For some people, it's taking everything they have just to get out the bed in the morning to go to work. For some people, it's taking everything they have to stay focused on their business and on their dreams and their career and their family. It's taking everything they have. And here you are being a walking trigger, handling people any kind of way, talking to people any kind of way, judging people any kind of way. And I'm here to tell you, some of y'all gonna judge the wrong person You're going to get cussed out. They're going to cuss you out, and then they're going to go right to God, ask for forgiveness, and go right back to church on Sunday. Are you listening to me? I'm serious. Handle people with care. Folks have a glow in their lives, but it don't mean they ain't going through nothing. All right? This is very important. Look at this. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 8 through 9, New Living Translation. I got 10 minutes. I got to hurry up. This blessing anybody? If it is, I want you to fill it up with hearts. Fill it up with hearts. Let me know if this is blessing somebody today. I want you to fill it up with hearts. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 8 through 9. You should see the announcements on our screen. Again, if you've got a child that's going back to school, when the broadcast is done, right before we log off, I'm going to be praying for your children. I'm going to say 2 prayers today because I want to pray for your children. So make sure you type your child's name in the comments. Type it in the chat area, your child's name, your grandchild's name, your niece, nephew, whoever. Type it in the comments because I'm going to be praying for them at the end of this broadcast today. All right. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 8 through 9. I don't have time to read this today, but let me say this to you. Paul gives the characteristics of a survivor when he talks about being troubled on every side, but never crushed, left confused, but never desperate, hunted down, but God never left you, knocked down, but you were never destroyed, right? One of my favorite passages of scripture where Paul really writes in a very poetic way to describe trouble, what trouble did to him, but what trouble could not do to him. And let me help you. Trouble, when you got God, trouble can only do but so much to you. Can I help you? When God is in your life, I want you to record this. When God is in my life, trouble can only do but so much. When God is in my life, and he is, when God is on your side, and he is, trouble can only do but so much. Yeah, you're going to be troubled on every side, but you won't be perplexed. You're going to be cast down, but you'll never be destroyed. You're going to be confused, but you'll never get desperate. See, Paul is saying trouble's going to happen, but trouble has its limits when God's in your life. Trouble has its limits when God is in your life. When God is in your life, it can only do but so much, right? And so you've got to understand that as a result of this, when you're able to go through all of this trouble and all of these challenges and all of these issues that life has brought into your life, that you brought into your life, because some trouble life did to us, some trouble we did to ourselves. Let's just keep it 100. Everything that happened to you, the devil didn't do it, and everything that good happened to you, God didn't do it. When you smoking loud and you feeling good, that ain't God. And it feels great. And God ain't got nothing to do with that. So everything that's good that happened to you, God didn't do it. And everything that's bad that happened to you ain't of the devil. There's some things that bad happened to you that you did to yourself. Devil ain't had nothing to do with it. The devil didn't make you do it. You did it. Right? So understand, regardless of the trouble you endure, when God's in your life, trouble can only do but so much. And if you can go through that trouble, this is what I want you to recognize. Look at verse number 10. 2 Corinthians, I'm speeding up. Chapter 4, verse 10, he says, through suffering, our bodies continue to share in the death of Jesus, so that the life of Jesus may also be seen in our bodies. Let me say it in English. I want you to record this. Through suffering, you gain access to God's grace. That's the English translation. Through suffering, you gain access to God's grace. That's all he's saying in 2 Corinthians 4, verse 10. Through trouble or through suffering, you gain access to God's grace. When you go through trouble, you get access to grace. If you want grace in your life, you got to embrace trouble. And I'm here to tell you, it ain't no such a thing as good trouble and bad trouble. All trouble is good trouble, because all trouble leads to God's grace. Is this making sense to anybody? From today forward, never look at trouble as good or bad. All trouble is good trouble. All of it. Because all trouble in God's eyes leads to grace. God gives you grace when you embrace trouble. All trouble you experience leads to God's grace. Ain't no such thing as bad trouble. Pastor, you mean tell me I go out here and I get 15 years in the pen? That ain't bad trouble? I'm here to tell you that's good trouble. That's good trouble. That is good trouble. I don't care if you did it or somebody did it to you. That's good trouble. Why? Because it leads to God's grace. You got to understand that what you had to carry in your trouble gives you a right to the grace that you're about to experience in your life. And many of you are getting ready to experience tremendous levels of grace in your life. Why? Because you've experienced tremendous levels of trouble. Tremendous. You are about to walk in a season of grace in your life like never before, because you endured a season of trouble in your life like never before. I'm a living, bona fide witness that if you can go through new levels of trouble, you're going to experience new levels of grace. And so the whole phrase of I don't look like what I've been through takes an entirely different level of meaning when you understand that connected to trouble is grace. Connected to your trouble is your grace. And the more trouble you have, the more grace you receive to counteract the trouble. If there is no trouble, there is no grace. You can have success, but I would rather have success with grace, because success with grace factors in my mistakes. Success with grace factors in my mistakes. I don't want to just be successful, but have no mistakes. I know many of you do. You want to have a perfect record. You want to have a clean record. I don't want to just be successful with no mistakes. No. It is my mistakes with my success that gives me grace. When I have grace or success with grace, I'm unstoppable. Why? Because I've got a card that says I'm accomplished, but I also got a card that says I've been through something. This is why the best preachers are the preachers who ain't got a perfect past. The best business owners are the owners who made some bad business deals. The best managers are the managers who made some mistakes when they were managing people. The best employees are the employees that didn't do everything right on the job, but sucked in some areas that they had to get better. You don't even understand that it's the trouble, it's the negativity, it's the hard times that actually helps you to become everything that God's designed you to be. So do not underestimate the impact of trouble, because trouble creates grace. Trouble that is given to God creates grace. He puts his light in you, and then that grace with success and grace together, you can't go wrong. Success is proof that you are arriving. Grace is a result of where you've been and where you came from. And it's an unstoppable combination. All right, look at this. I'm almost done. Verse 15. Y'all give me 5 more minutes. All right, verse 15. Good, Miss Ryder. I want you to do that. I want you to don't ever say trouble is bad. Trouble ain't bad. Trouble is good. All of it. I don't care how crazy it gets. I'm here to tell you, last 15, 16 months of my life, it has gotten real crazy. But guess what? It's working for your good. How can it work for your good and not be good? Where is Chris Morton? I'm going to see him in a couple of weeks. How can it work for your good and it not be good? See, we say things like all things are working together for my good, to the good of them that love the Lord. We say that stuff, but you don't even realize the all things includes the bad stuff. So the bad has to work for the good. If the bad is working for the good, it ain't really bad. It's really good. It works for your good. Trouble works for your good. If it's working for your good, it has to be good. Is that making sense? All right, look at this. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 15 through 17. Let me read this quickly. I'm going to read these verses really quickly. Look at this. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 15 through 17. New Living Translation. 15 says, all of this is for your benefit. All of this trouble is for your benefit. And as God's grace reaches more and more people, there will be great thanksgiving and God will receive more and more glory. So as his grace, as you go through your trouble, which is for your benefit, his grace is going to then be accessible to more people. Why? Because he's going to get glory out of it. You don't even realize that as God gives you grace through your trouble, other people see it and be like, how did you get that grace with what you've been through? And then that's when God gets in the picture. And you say, it ain't had nothing to do with me. God actually gave me grace in the middle of everything that I went through. Really? God did that for you? Yeah. He literally saw me go through losing the business, losing the job. He literally saw me go through the broken relationships. He literally saw me go through all of those things, and he gave me grace. And now I got a glow on me in spite of where I've been. And when you share that, all of a sudden, God then gets the glory for what you went through. That's how his glory shares is spread. His glory is spread to other people. Glory, i.e. credit. His credit is shared to other people by us giving him the credit for giving us the grace. All right, so look at this, verse 16. That is why we never give up. Though our bodies are dying, our spirits are being renewed every day. Verse 17. For our present troubles are small and won't last very long, yet they produce for us a glory that vastly outweighs them and will last forever. I want you to record this in the comments. Everything you went through was for your benefit. All of this good trouble you experienced was for your benefit. It was for your good. Everything you went through was for your benefit. It was for your benefit. It was for your good. It was for your good. Our response to God's grace is to give him glory. I know that's hard to understand. You mean to tell me I was abandoned as a kid and that was for my benefit? It was. Because you're going to run into somebody who's going to see your success and they're going to wonder, they're going to think you came from a perfect home. And then you're going to share with them, no, mama abandoned me. Daddy abandoned me. My grandparents raised me. My uncle raised me. And I still made it. And then lo and behold, the person you're talking to is going to be in the same position that you were in. And all of a sudden, everything that you went through worked out for your benefit. Is this making sense to anybody? Yeah. I know the divorce, the broken relationship. I know the failed business. I know all of that stuff hurt. I get it. But understand, it was for your benefit. You're going to run into somebody in your future that's going to need to hear the testimony of your past. And God's going to give you the grace to have a glow in spite of the failure. God's going to give you the grace to glow in spite of failure. It was for your benefit. It was. It was. And when you understand that, and you understand that all things, good, bad, ugly, indifferent, we're calling it good regardless. Not even using the word bad with trouble anymore. We're calling it good. Things have to happen in order for us to become what we need to become. It's all good. Has to be your mantra from here on out. Don't care what happened to you. It's all good. Lost your job. All good. Lost a relationship. All good. Friendship of 50 years broke apart. All good. Positions being downsized. All good. Business is struggling. All good. Church is struggling. All good. People are struggling. All good. Doesn't matter what it is. All good has to be your response. And when it becomes your response, then you understand God then with that attitude gives you the grace to shine in spite of it all. He gives you the grace to shine in spite of it all. So when you struggle to carry what you struggle, that's okay. When you struggle to carry what it is that you have, that's okay. You're human. Because one of the things that, and I'll end with this because I think this is very important. I don't want anybody to be misled or to misunderstand me today. When you got trouble, sometimes it's hard to carry. It ain't going to be easy. I want you to hang up this call and say, oh, Pastor, say my trouble going to be easy. So when I get trouble, it ought to be easy to carry. No, you're going to have some crying days. You're going to have some tough days. You are. If you're human and you care about your life and care about you and care about other people, you're going to have some hard days. You're going to have some rough moments. I'm here to tell you firsthand. You are. And if anybody tells you differently, they lying to you. You're going to have some rough moments. But understand this. This is the greater thing. If you ever get to the place where you recognize that trouble isn't bad, but it's good, God gives you the grace in spite of your rough seasons, right? And so, yeah, there are going to be some days you struggle to carry what you carry, but his grace is going to renew your strength. What gives you strength to get out of bed every day when you're so depressed that you don't want to keep going is God's grace. Grace gives you strength. I want you to record that. God's grace gives you strength. It's no goodness of your own. It is not of your ability, of your own. Listen, y'all, I told y'all, and I shared with y'all some very transparent moments over this last 15, 16 months. There were days literally I was crying before I got on the call, hung up the call, and was crying again. It was God's grace that got me through some rough seasons. It's God's grace that does that. When you struggle to carry what you struggle, you're human. That's okay. It's all right. And that's something I had to tell myself, because I knew I had the wrong circle, because everybody around me didn't want me to struggle. You the pastor, you shouldn't be struggling. You shouldn't be hurt. You shouldn't be upset. You shouldn't be mad. You shouldn't be angry. You shouldn't feel what? Wrong circle. It was completely on me. Like, I mean, I get it clear as day now. I didn't get it. Wrong circle. Because I was listening like, wait a minute, I shouldn't be. No, that's foolishness. Wrong circle. You're human. I'm talking to somebody today, and I need you to hear me loud and clearly. You're human. You got a right to be. I don't care what your title is. I don't care where you are in your life, what responsibilities you have, what responsibilities you carry. You're human, and you got a right to be. And don't let nobody, I'm telling you from personal witness, from personal experience, don't let nobody tell you differently. You human, you got a right to be human. You got a right to feel everything you go through. You got a right to have some crying days. You got a right to have some days where you don't feel like doing life. You got a right to do that. But let me tell you something. When you get to that point, it is God's grace that gives you the strength to keep going. God's grace renews your strength every single day. And you ain't got but one job. It's real easy. All you got to do is start looking at your trouble as good and not bad. You got to start looking at your trouble as good and not bad. When you start looking at what you're going through as, you know what, this my business is struggling, but this is actually going to help me, better manage my books and better manage my products and my marketing. And so when I come out of this, my brand is going to be stronger than it's ever been. That's reframing. That's reframing the trouble. I did some video on reframing on my personal YouTube. Pull it up. Just type in my name and type in framing, and you'll see it. It's a powerful video. That's called reframing. Take a look at your trouble and stop calling it bad and call it good. Find the lesson in the trouble. Find the blessing in the trouble. And when you do that, God starts giving you your grace. And all of a sudden, you get your appetite back. All of a sudden, you get your swag back. All of a sudden, you get your glow back. Why? Because now you ain't looking at trouble as something that was sent to kill you. You looking at trouble as something that was really sent to make you better. Not all trouble. All trouble is good trouble. All of it. I don't care what you have endured in your life, what you have experienced in your life. All trouble is good trouble, because all trouble leads to God's grace. Does this make sense to anybody? All trouble leads to God's grace. All right. I'm done, y'all. This bless anybody today? This message help anybody today? We're getting ready to pray a couple of times. And so I don't want you to go anywhere. This bless anybody today? This message bless anybody? If it did, I want you to put in the comments real quickly. This was for me. This was for me. Come on, quickly. This was for me. This was for me. What a powerful message today. I told you, you'll never see trouble the same after today. Never. Never. You will never see trouble the same after today. You will never label your trouble. Man, this is really bad, or this is kind of bad, or this is a little bad, or that's very bad. Ain't no such thing. Ain't no such thing as bad trouble. It's all good. Your response to trouble has to be, it's all good. Every single last bit of it. It's all good. The good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. You have to look at your trouble that way. All trouble is good trouble. It's good trouble because it leads to God's grace. And the reason you shining right now, The reason you glowing right now, the reason why people can't look at you and see what you've been through is because of God's grace. His grace is powerful, man. His grace is powerful. It is his grace that causes us to come out looking better than we've ever been, to come out glowing in the middle of darkness, to come out shining in the middle of confusion, difficult moments. Everything you went through, that's right, Mother Doris, everything you went through was for your good. It was for your benefit. It was for your benefit. God's giving you the grace that's going to give you strength. It was for your benefit, and you have to embrace that. It's okay to feel the pain of hurt. It's okay to feel the pain of what you're going through. It's okay to feel the pain of where you've been. I've been it. If you got people in your circle telling you not to feel it, delete the circle. Delete it. Y'all, and y'all know, I went through, I don't know, 6 or 7 months, the first 6, 7, 8 months of this year. I wasn't praying for nobody else but everybody else. I was praying for everybody else. I was praying for, from January until about 4 weeks ago, I was praying for everybody else. Y'all, prayer requests, family, friends, circle, your members, non-members, enemies, friends, the whole shebang. I was praying for everybody else but me. And you know what was so crazy? While I was praying for everybody else, I didn't feel the prayers from other people. I didn't. I'm being honest with you. And so, you have to you have to realize that sometimes when it comes to embracing the humanity of where you are, it is critical that you have the right people around you, praying for you, rooting for you, believing in you, right? That this is so important, because when you do, they ain't gonna say, hey boy, stop crying. Hey girl, stop going through. Hey, stop feeling the pressure. No, they're gonna let you feel that moment. They're gonna let you have a moment. But they also understand that when you reframe the trouble and say, this ain't bad trouble, this is good trouble. God really about to use this right here to blow my mind. He's about to change my life because of this trouble that I'm going through, because of this trouble that I'm dealing with. This ain't bad. This is good. In fact, let me say it like this. Paul said it like this. For you Bible want to fall out speaking tongues folks. He said it like this. It was good that I was afflicted. How's that? It was good that I was afflicted, because without the affliction, I would not have understood God's statutes. I would not have understood his law. I would not have understood his grace. So it's actually a good thing that you went through what you went through. You got to see trouble an entirely different way. It was good for you. All right. Listen, you got a prayer request? Would you type it in the comments quickly? I've run way over by about 8 minutes, and I got to do all of this in 7 minutes fast. You got a prayer request? Type it in the comments really quickly, okay? I want you to connect hands like this as a sign and symbol of faith. If you're going to type a prayer request, type it quickly, and then go ahead and clasp your hands like this as a sign and symbol of faith, touching and agreeing with me. I can't physically touch your hand. I wish I could. So I want you to just clasp your hand like this as a sign symbol of faith. We're getting ready to pray right now, okay? Type in your comments, even as I'm praying. If you want to type in your comments, do it quickly. Clasp your hands like this as a sign symbol of faith. I've got to move forward. Are you ready? Come on, let's pray. Father, in Jesus' name, thank you today for your word. Thank you for reminding us that all trouble is really good trouble, that there is no such a thing as a bad trouble or bad affliction, but that everything we experience in our life is necessary, that everything that we go through in our life was necessary, because it all leads us to your grace. Thank you, God, today for grace. Thank you for the grace that causes us to glow in hard times, causes us to glow in difficult moments, to glow through difficult moments, to glow through difficult challenges. We thank you for the grace that you've given to all of us. And God, my selfish prayer this day is that you would continue to grant your people more grace. Give them the grace to go through difficulties as they run their business. Give them the grace to go through difficulties as they navigate their careers. Give them the grace to go through difficulties in relationships and marriages and friendships and other connections that they have. Give them grace. Help them to realize that all trouble is good trouble, because it leads to the grace that only you can give. God, every prayer request that's been typed in these comments today, we lift them up to you. We lift them to you, and we want you to answer the prayers of the people like only you can. The prayer requests that are in the comments, the prayer requests that have been emailed to us, God, we lift them to you because we know you are a way maker. We know that you are in the miracle working business. And so, God, this week I ask that you would answer the prayers of your people as only you can. Heal bodies, touch minds, mend conditions, um, even protect us in this COVID variant season that we're in. God, I speak covering of peace and shelter and favor over the lives of everybody tuned in, and even those that are watching the replay. That God, you would protect us all in grace and favor as only you can. That you would keep your loving arms of protection around us as only you can. God, we thank you for these things and count them done in Jesus' name. Amen. Listen, if you pray with me, I want you to put in the comments right now. It is so. It is so. Come on, quickly. It is so. It is so. I want you to put in the comments now. It is so. It is so. If you've got somebody that you want me to pray for that is going back to school, I want you to go ahead and type their names in the comments right now. Come on. If you prayed that prayer of faith with me, I want you to put in the comments now. It is so. It is so. It is so. It is so. All right. Listen, right before I pray for our children, I want to say this. If there's anybody that wants to dedicate their life to Christ, that wants to be saved, I want you to listen to me right now. If there's anybody that wants to be saved, that wants to dedicate their life to Christ, maybe you're watching this live or you're watching the replay. If there's anybody that wants to be saved or dedicate their life to Christ, I want you to repeat this prayer of faith with me. The Bible tells us, Romans 10:9, that if we confess with our mouths, believe with our hearts that Jesus Christ is who he is and did what he did for us, we are saved. And somebody had to have heard this message today and wants to dedicate their life to Christ, be a part of the largest family in the world, which is the royal family of Jesus Christ. I want to offer to you salvation today. If you heard this message, I want to offer salvation to you today. I want you to dedicate your life to him. And I'm telling you, if you give him your life, he'll give you more grace. All right. You want to be saved today? If you want to be saved, stop what you're doing. Put down the bacon. If you're on the beach, I want you to sit up. Pastor wishes he was there too. I want you to sit up. I want you to sit up now, and I want you to repeat this prayer of faith with me. If you want to be saved, I want you to say this with me. Say it. I'm a sinner. I'm not perfect. I have some flaws, and I even have some failures. But I do believe that Jesus Christ was born of a virgin, lived on this earth just like I'm living. He suffered, bled, and died on the cross. But 3 days later, rose again for my sins. Because he lives, I can live, and I am saved. Listen, if you prayed that prayer of faith, I want to welcome you to the royal family of Jesus Christ. Your decision to be saved was the greatest decision that you have ever made. It's that simple. Salvation ain't complicated. It's about admitting the fact that you're not perfect, but that you serve a God that is. It's that simple. And then you give your life to him. He does the rest. So I want to welcome you to the royal family of Jesus Christ. Now that you've done that, go find you a church home somewhere. I don't care where you live. We got viewers from all across the country that tune in every single morning. Go find you a church home in your local area. Go be a part of that ministry. Join that ministry. Dedicate your time, talent, and treasure to that ministry. Be a part of that ministry so you can continue to grow. If you want to be a part of our ministry, I would love to be your pastor in person or virtually. All you got to do is just type in the comments now, membership. And if you would love to be a part of our ministry, I would love for you to be a part of our ministry. Just simply type in the comments now, membership. And one of the moderators will reach out to you, get some information from you. And I'd love to be your in-person or virtual pastor. And hopefully you will make the decision today to find you a church home somewhere where you can continue to grow and develop and be everything that God's called you to be and more. All right. Would you do that for me? Make sure you do that. Make sure you do that. Make sure you connect with a church somewhere. Doesn't matter where it is. I ain't a pimp. I'm a pastor. If it's a Bible teaching, Bible believing, Bible preaching church, go be a part of that church. All right. That's serving its community. Go be a part of that church so that you can continue to grow and develop. Now, I want to pray for your children. All of our children are going back to school. Before we sow a seed today, I want to pray for your children. I want to pray for your children that are going back to school. If you have not typed their names in the chat area, I want you to type their names in the chat area right now. Many of you have children that are going back to school. You have loved ones that are going back to school. You've got nieces, nephews, grandkids, godkids. You've got all kinds of kids that are going back to school. And I want to pray for them. I miss being back in the building especially on this day. This is one of a few very special days for me that I really miss being in, because we literally have the altar. We have all of our kids come up and we anoint them. and we pray for them as they go back to school. And so I cannot physically touch them today. If you've got a child that's going back to school, I want you to type their names in the comments now. I want you to type them in the chats now. Because we're going to pray for them right now. And then I'm going to be praying for them all week long, that as our kids go back to school, K through 12, as our children, and on the college level, we start classes on tomorrow. As our college kids start college and go back to school, that they are covered, that they are wise, that they make good decisions, that they experience good success and grace throughout this academic year. Listen, y'all, let's pray for all of our children. If you have not typed in their names in the comments now, I want you to do it really quickly because we want to pray for you. We want to pray for where they are, where they're going to be going to school. We want them to have great success. All right. Would you do that? Come on. I want you to touch and agree with me. All right. Touch and agree with me. Let's pray. Father, in Jesus' name, I thank you today. It's me again. and I thank you today for your goodness. God, I pray a special prayer for all of our children and even our adults that are going back to school. Regardless of the level that they're going back in. God, I ask that you would put a hedge of protection around their lives, that you would cover them as they go to class, as they travel between activities, as they engage with other students, as they engage with parents and faculty and staff and administrators. God, I pray that you would literally shield them in your grace. Shield them, God, in your strength as only you can. God, we even speak against this nasty virus that has attempted to literally rock our world. God, I pray that you would cover our children from the virus, that you would cover them from all hurt, harm, and danger, from anything that might happen in the school setting that could keep them from getting the education that they need. God, we speak success right now in the lives of our young people. We speak success right now in the lives of our adults that are going back to school, that are giving their education a second and third try. We speak success in their lives, that they will get the degree, that our young people will graduate, that they will become lawyers, doctors, entrepreneurs, innovators in whatever space that they are pursuing. God, we thank you for being a God of not only the spirit, but a God of education, a God that values getting all we can get, including understanding. I pray now, God, that you would empower our young people to get everything that they can as they go back to school, that you would make them leaders and not followers, that you would make them good examples and not people that are standing in the back of the line, that you would cause them, God, to experience success and favor everywhere they go. God, we even pray a special prayer for every teacher that's on the line, every teacher that's watching the replay, that God, you would give them the faith, the patience, and the courage to endure what could be a challenging year. God, make it easy for them. Cause them to see easy success. Cause them to experience easy victories in spite of the storms that might be going on around us. God, to our administrators, our principals, our superintendents, our college faculty and staff, instructors, anybody that plays a role in educating our people, God, we speak strength into their lives. We speak courage into their lives. And God, we ask that you would give them the tools and the know-how to be able to lead our students in the direction that they need to go so that they can receive everything that they need to receive and more. We thank you, God, because this will be, in spite of outside forces, this will be one of the most successful years, academic years, for our young and older people that we've ever experienced because of your grace. We thank you for these things and count them done in Jesus' name. Amen. Listen, y'all, I hope y'all pray for your young people. I'm so amped today. I am so pumped today. I hope you pray for our young people and you're believing God for them. This is going to be a very victorious academic year for them. And I'm expecting nothing but great things. A's and B's, and that's it. C's are not acceptable. D's are not acceptable. F's are not acceptable. I ain't expecting nothing but A's and B's. And I'm talking to all of you, whether you're a kid or you're adult and going back to school. Don't y'all tell me you got a C in the class and you happy. I don't want nothing but A's and B's this year. You hear me? Nothing but A's and B's this year. That's all we accepting in Jesus' name. And we believe it's going to happen. Listen, y'all, really quickly, 60 seconds. I want to challenge you to give. If this message has blessed you, if this ministry has blessed you, you should see the giving avenues on your screen. I want to challenge you to be a blessing to our ministry. You can give one of three ways. You can give via Cash App, $REHABCCGIVE. That's $REHABCCGIVE. Sow a seed today that reflects the level of blessing you've received. No set amount. Give your tithes. If you don't have a place to tithe, I want to challenge you to tithe, but give an offering as well. I want to challenge you to sow a seed that reflects the blessing you've received, and God's going to bless you. You can give via Cash App, $REHABCCGIVE. Website, www.rehabcc.org. Or you can give by phone by texting REHABWORKS to 88202. Text REHABWORKS to 88202 and write to your cell phone. You will see a prompt. Click on the prompt. You can give right from your cell phone. But I want to challenge all of you to give today. If this message, if this ministry has been a blessing to you, if this message today has been a blessing to you, wow, what a powerful time and experience we had today. If it's been a blessing to you, I want to challenge you to give in a special, special way. And watch God bless you in a tremendous way. All right. So it doesn't matter what avenue you give. Again, you can give via Cash App, $REHABCCGIVE. That's Cash App, $REHABCCGIVE. Through our website, www.rehabcc.org, and just simply choose online giving. Or you can give by phone by texting REHABWORKS to 88202. And right to your cell phone, you'll see a prompt. Follow that prompt, and you can be a blessing to us. Listen, y'all, do me a favor if you have not already. After you give, I want you to share this video. Share this video. Like this video if you have not already. I ought to see a lot of likes. We had a lot of viewers today on all of our networks. I should see a lot of likes today, a lot of loves today. Share this video, like this video, tag somebody and tell them to go back and watch this video on Trouble. And it's going to bless somebody in a tremendous way. And then do me a favor. Make plans to meet me this Tuesday for Life Study. We're continuing our Becoming series. I got another very powerful and practical life lesson for you on Tuesday. And you're going to want to hear this, what I got to say Tuesday. It's going to be powerful. So join us this Tuesday at 7:08 p.m. We cannot wait to see you there. Listen, y'all, I love you. I'm praying for you. Young people, old people, those of us that are young at heart, that are going back to school. I love y'all. I want you to go to school tomorrow with your head up, get in them books, and do your thing this week. And I want you to get prepared to bless your entire academic year. I want you to do well this week. I'm rooting for you. I'm praying for you. I want you to have a blessed week. And I love you. I'll see you this Tuesday, 7:08 p.m. All right. Peace and blessings.
Thank you for watching the Rehab Christian Center live experience. If this broadcast has been a blessing to you and you would like to be a blessing to our leader, Dr. Zeb Talley III, you can sow a seed into his ministry by Cash App at $Pastor ZT3. It is our prayer that this message of hope encouraged, enlightened, and empowered you to be better. Please tune in Tuesday at 7:08 p.m. for our life study experience. And as always, be blessed and have a wonderful week.